like in my mind, like everybody's doing it and everybody's doing it better than me because they have the time, they have this, they have that. You know, at the end of the day, I do have to remember my superpower is consistency. And if I decided to put something in action, I will. Today, we're just gonna be doing a solo pod. I don't know about you, but I had quite a bit of a weekend. Did a little bit of party, but also last week I finally was able to sit down and take a look at all of the recording that I've done, and I was able to compile 10 recordings. What I learned from them is that you have to keep recording. Nobody's gonna think you're doing as good of a job as you think you're doing. Because it takes the person doing it a lot of courage to actually record, get in front of the camera, get the right equipment, set up the place to look good, make yourself look decent. And then when you show someone your pod or video, they would just be like, yeah, I think I would do this, I would do that. And then I would say, yeah, shut the fuck up and just watch the shit, like, and say, wow, I'm glad you're doing it, because I'm not, and I wish I was doing it too. But anyway, people are not like that, but some people are very encouraging. And you know, at the beginning of recording the pod, I thought it was more like I would share my professional career, like how I'm a private chef, and you know the ingredients I do use, or the things that I get to cook. But it's starting to take its own little turn. After re-listening to the pods, my professional career is interesting. By no means, but I also signed an NDA, so I can't say much. As I interview my friends, and as I start thinking about the audience, you who are listening to me out there, like what would be interesting for them, and I find that in general, my life stories is interesting enough that I feel like I can share, and it's a story where it's better that you hear it than you live through it. So yeah, I think the next moving forward, I'm gonna be talking to you more about just my journey, my life, and you know where I've been through, how I got here, and also introduce you to my friends, the people that I've met along the way. I also had an opportunity to speak with my friend Ricky Tran, who is Perfection on YouTube, and he has Perfection Store. Since I met him, that's when I jumpstart my Instagram again, and found this second life of showing my food, and it really got me into wanting to do more like a YouTube cooking show type deal. So I am recording cooking videos, recipes and stuff while I'm doing the podcast, while I'm private chefing, and while being a husband and father. Ricky is a good dude, and he's kind of, he saw the potential of what I have, and just kind of see my persistent, and maybe he saw that I'm working towards abundance and I'm close, but I just need a push. One thing that was really encouraging for me that he said is like, yeah, hey, he said, Yuki, a lot of people come and ask me how to do this, how to be successful, how to start your own channel, how to do da 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 da. And he's like, there's even a few people that I would actually spend my time and talk to and go through the stuff with them, and none of them has gone as far as you have. And he has barely told me anything. He just said to me that his experience is so unique and he really got lucky. And I was like, hey, that's kind of like me. With what I'm doing, with how I'm doing the professional, the private chef thing, and even making a living cooking. It's kind of something I fell into. So that was super encouraging. When he said that I'm as far as I'm at with the project. Like in my mind, like everybody's doing it. And everybody's doing it better than me because they have the time, they have this, they have that. But at the end of the day, I do have to remember my superpower is consistency. And if I decided to put something in action, I will. And I'm fortunate enough to, now, I'm mentioning it, Mel Robbins, we're not friends. She doesn't know me. I know her through her books, through her podcast, through her being the person that helped me become who I am now. Like since 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and even like the high five habit, to now her Mel Robbins TV show. And I was at the gym the other day on the elliptical, and even she was on like some TV show, the Today Show or something. But yeah, so now I have decided to just try to record as many as I could, as often as I can, around my job, my family, and hopefully develop an audience with you, listening, watching, and start a community, a place where we can have a conversation about just being people, chop it up, I call the show The Art of Chef because, I'm a chef, but, so if you're a musician, then it could be the art of musician. If you're a builder, it could be the art of builder. I mean.
And now a quick break. We hope you're enjoying this episode of The Art of Chef. If you're listening to us on your podcast app, we want to invite you to watch these episodes again on our YouTube channel. This is a completely different entertainment experience. Especially during our guest interviews, we love to spice things up with GIFs and other visuals that really bring the episodes to life. So don't be a stranger. Subscribe to The Art of Chef on YouTube and download episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
Which leads me to trying to line up people for the next series of my pod. I think if I kind of record them in like series of 10s, maybe, I don't know, or maybe that's too much planning. I can just let thing flow to see what comes up and who comes. Ricky definitely has to come on a pod. I mean, he's kind of becoming my mentor in this whole journey of social media, YouTube, online podcast type deal. So hopefully we can get him on get him scheduled up. My friend Donovan, I grew up with him. Chef Michael needs to come back on again. Coach Moss needs to come back on. After we did the pod last time, I went and trained with him and with Elena from Shared Cultures. He kicked my ass. Just a lot of stretching, balance, old people stuff. I love it. He challenged me to take some pictures and make a doctor's appointment. Who else? Jeff needs to come back on. Jeff Tung Jr. He's my buddy that has the mortgage company that I want to see the progress of his brokerage and just how things are with him. The next thing about the pod that needs to happen is to build this studio. So have to put some money into some furniture, maybe a bookshelf back there to put my play button. I don't know, books. Maybe I can put up some pictures of the guest that comes onto the show, maybe. And I think this pod is really gonna give me a platform to share and help. To just help people out there. Maybe you're like me. You cook for a living. You cook at a restaurant. You cook at home. You cook at a hospital. Wherever you cook. You're just like, wow. I'm kind of just grinding through it, going through the motion. I like it. I like what I do, but my mind just doesn't like it. Doesn't feel like it's rewarding. Well, you know what? Maybe I have a solution for that. Something that you enjoy doing, like you love doing, something that you're good at, and something that someone is willing to pay for. And the mix of those three things should be the ideal thing for you to earn a living. Cooking was easy for me. Someone was willing to pay me to cook for them. The only thing that didn't come through was me loving it. So I had to make a decision. I had to say, hey, can I ask myself to love what I do? Or see the value of what I do. And so you can make yourself see things differently. I made myself see different things differently. I say, you know what? Cooking is something that I've done for a long time. It's easy for me. People are willing to pay a ton of money for me to do it. I just have to love it. And how do I love it? I need to be a student of it again. I have to be curious about it again. I have to say to myself, hey, maybe I am not perfect as doing mapo tofu, for example. Maybe I need to go out there and eat some, or I've done this dish 1,000 times this way. Well, what if I do it a little bit different? What if I mix it a little bit of fusion to just create a little bit challenge for myself? And Lord and behold, it became interested again. It became interesting again. So I think just trying to like simple thing, like how do you get yourself to go back in there and do it again and create and become more? Those are things that nobody's standing next to you prepping gonna tell you. Nobody that's gotta be out back smoking a cigarette is gonna tell you. Nobody's gonna be sitting next to the bar having a drink gonna tell you. Nobody told me. I had to learn it by myself. I spent 10 years cooking on my own. And I had to I was my worst enemy, and I was on my own best coach, personal coach. I do have a private coach, but life coach, by the way, and he needs to be on this pod to add to the whole giant list of people that needs to be on this pod. Anyway, where do I see this pod in 10 years, in 5 years, and the end of the year? Putting it in time frame like that is a little tough for me. I think I want to see like a big picture, a medium picture, and like an immediate picture. I think the immediate picture maybe so that I can, I just put a bunch of pot out, just establish myself as, this chef guy that loves to chat with people, to chop it up, and I have friends that are not just chef, but in different levels of stages in life and in career and society, and that it can be a place where I can build an audience of people that just want to hear something stress-free, I guess. And in the long term, it would be great if this become like a platform, like for a place for me to get to, interact or interview with some like uber successful people, and kind of maybe by then I'll develop better interview skills or ask better questions to really have a place where I can curate a bunch of conversations, a bunch of real conversation between human about just being who they are. Me as the art of chef, for them the art of music, whatever, wherever they are. I just want to hear their story, and I'm sure I want to see how, and we'll share how we met, how we connect, and all that. And maybe down the road there'll be people that I haven't had much interaction with, but we know each other maybe through the medium of pod or whatever, and podcasts or pods, yeah, and and maybe the medium goal would be just to so that I can do this for fun, for like a hobby, where I can spend some time, speak with you, spend some time traveling, speaking with other people, maybe travel around the world to see, eat, feel different things, experience a life that I never had the opportunity to, because I was just always so busy working and trying to make a living. So yeah, this might be the most rambliest pod ever that I've done, and I hope that by me sharing this experience after I've recorded so many, that you will feel encouraged to start your own pod, maybe your own recording. Or at least if you vibe with just anything that I say, it would be great if you can leave something on the comment. And I would love to see what vibe with you. And if you have any questions, like until I find a co-host or someone that can help dig out some of these things inside of his head, your question would be the next best thing. So anyway, thank you for watching and listening. This is The Art of Chef. I'm your host, Chef Yuki. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us today. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed this episode, it only takes a moment to post a positive rating and review. Your support allows us to grow the community and reach more extraordinary people just like you. And come check out the Art of Chef YouTube channel on your next lunch break. We'd love to see you there. Thanks again for listening. See you in the next episode.